What is going on, guys? We are back in the FTOG Avant 3 server. Now today, guys, we're going to be messing around with actually additions. Now the main reason that we're diving into this all of a sudden is because I really want to get greenhouse glass. So if we come over here and look at the greenhouse glass, it's not that hard to make. There's only one block that actually additions is actually required to get, and that's the center block, the empowered palace crystal block. But unfortunately, we do have to do a little bit of work to actually get that. And the main reason that I want the greenhouse glass, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last episode, but if you guys don't remember, the greenhouse glass essentially allows us to grow crops faster. You place this above it like you would any glass in a greenhouse, and as long as there is no block between the greenhouse glass and the actual crop, it'll make it grow faster. And it's actually a decent difference in growth speed. I tested it out in a creative single player world, and it actually is worth it to get, along with a couple other things that we will work on in the future. But this is the biggest one that I would say, and it's the easiest one to get, so I thought we'd jump right into it. So to actually get all this stuff for actually additions, it's pretty interesting because you are converting a bunch of regular material into the actually additions version of it, which I thought was pretty interesting. But to do that, we need an atomic reconstructor. So this one's actually not difficult to make. It's just going to take some redstone, some iron, and then it's going to take some sticks, black quartz, and some more iron. So I should have all the stuff in our storage right now. I cleaned this out a little bit. I did a little bit of mining and collected all the resources that we should need for today. So I have some black quartz that we're going to need. I'll pull out all of the iron because we're going to need that. We have some sticks here, but honestly, I'll just leave those in there and grab out some of our wood. And we have some of our redstone. So we'll pull those out. We can bring them on over here. And we're going to need a fair bit of sticks for today. So I'll just make all of these into sticks. And other than that, we should be good to do this, I think. So there we go. We'll make one iron casing. And there we go. We have the atomic reconstructor. And something else that we can do really quick is I will just grab out... we could make a lever or we could make a button. It doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to go with a lever just because. Actually, I don't even know. We could go with anything. Doesn't really matter. We'll go with a button. So we're going to be setting this up in here because I actually have plans to make a basement, and I haven't even put the second floor on. But when I do make a basement, this stuff will all go in the basement along with most of the ore processing stuff. But for now, we can put it up here. As long as you don't have a lens on here to make it detonate when it hits something, this is actually not going to be an issue. So we can throw it down right here. And as you can see, it needs RF. So we're going to throw down our capacitor bank, and it's going to charge it up really quick. And it's already going. Hold the redstone torch to toggle. Okay, so this one's already firing, so I'm actually going to break this because it's using that. I forgot we have to use a redstone torch to toggle this. So we'll grab out a redstone torch, and I assume you right click. Okay, so it should be on pulse now, which I believe means that we are going to be able to use just a button to turn it on and off. But yeah, that is what you just saw right there. It's a laser that fires out of this, and when there's no lens on it, that's going to allow us to convert whatever it hits from our vanilla materials into the actually additions materials. So there's a lot of different ones that we can use. Let's see, right over, I'm trying to go over to the page that shows them all. Okay, so right here shows most of them, but you have Restonia crystal, which is redstone, transformed palace crystal, which is lapis, diamantine, which is diamond. You've got void crystal, which I think is coal, nori crystal, which is iron, all that stuff. And so if we look, we're going to kind of backtrack from the greenhouse glass. So of course you need all the different glass, you need some saplings, but we need the empowered palace crystal block. Now of course this is only going to get us 3, so we need a fair bit of this. But as you can see, you can do it normal crafting, or you can do the empowerer. And the empowerer is going to take a regular palace crystal block. It's going to take 3 prismarine shards, and cyan dye. You can also use the floral cyan powder, which is great because that means that we can use the botania flowers to get it. So we need the empowerer, and to get the prismarine shards, we can actually use the nether quartz with the atomic reconstructor again to get these pretty easily. But along with that, we need the empowerer, and that's going to be one of the first things that we craft. So we need the empowerer, and it's a little bit odd because if we go to the manual, and you can actually see the manual without having to make it, but if we go to this and click over, you can essentially see, let me see if we can get to the correct page. So right here, the empowerer is in the center, but you actually need 4 display stands going out from each side of this 2 blocks away. So we need the empower and then 4 display stands. So something to keep in mind, since it doesn't actually tell you that if you don't look in the book. But that means that we need 5 display stands. That's what we're going to start with making right now. And these are relatively easy to make. So we'll worry about the aesthetic quartz and the aesthetic green blocks. Basically, this is going to be 1 block of quartz, and the next one is going to be a chiseled block of quartz. And because we need 5 of these, that means that we're going to need 15 of each of these. So we come over to our storage module tablet. I really hope we have enough nether quartz for this whole thing. We definitely should, but we can grab all of this out. And I already made some of the chiseled quartz blocks, but we're going to need a lot more. So we can let's make a full stack of these. So we've got those. So right here is the regular quartz blocks that we're going to need. And then we can let's make another stack. So like that. And we can turn these into slabs. I think that should be enough right there. Yep, so there we go. So we've got 15 of each. Now this is going to take a little bit of time to convert both of these. So you can only convert 3 at a time, and you're essentially going to set them down like this, and then hit the button, and boom, there you go. They change all of them to aesthetic quartz, and then we just break these, and we do it all over again. So it can get a little tedious. I'm sure there's an easier way to automate these if you just set up the timing correct, so you push a button and it breaks whatever block you have in there right after the laser changes it, and that'd actually be something pretty cool to set up, I think. But for now, we're just going to put these down. I think this is the most that we actually have to convert, these blocks right here. And we'll finish the last 3 for this. Okay, there we go. And I actually need to get around to making better tools. I always say that I'm going to do stuff off camera, and I never actually get around to it because I'm always flipping between series. But I'm hoping over Christmas break I will have enough time to do that stuff off camera, because it'll be kind of relaxing for me after being, doing finals and all that stuff, which I am not looking forward to. So there we go. By the way, I know I haven't had a video up for maybe like a week and a half, because of Thanksgiving break. Just wanted to say I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you ate a lot and then fell asleep immediately after. Always a good way to go about it. Okay, so we got this. We've got our aesthetic quartz, which means that all we have left to do for these is going to be the advanced coil, which is going to be gold nuggets, and then a basic coil, which is black quartz, which we have, and Restonia crystals. So one thing that I want to mess around with is seeing how many of this redstone you can throw down and change at once, because I know you can throw down all of this and you should be able to hit this and change it. I really hope it doesn't do anything if it hits the wall, but no, we can't change it like that. I thought you could do that. Let me try putting it up against this wall right here. Let me try putting a single one up against this wall right here and see if we can change it. Yeah, so you can change it like that. That's odd. Maybe I was... So can we do 20? Let's try 20. Okay, so we can. It just needs to be up against something, I think. Possibly. I don't actually know. So we are going to need, what is it, 5 of those? I think. Which we should have just enough for. So we've got 5 basic coils. And let me just make sure, yeah. So 5 basic coils, and then we can come in here. I should already have some gold nuggets, but we're going to need some regular gold to turn back into nuggets then. And it'll be enough. Oh, okay, there we go. And there they are. So we have all these, and then we can just fill these in right here. I'm so bad at clicking right now. Whatever, we'll just click those in, and there we go. Okay, so we've got all of our display stands that we need. Obviously, 4 of these are going to be used for just being regular display stands, and the last one is going to be going into the empower. So we've got the Restonia crystal that we need for that, because I made 1 extra. Not intentional, but we're going to make the next 2 iron casings that we need for this. And the last thing that we need then is a double battery. So the double battery is going to be a bunch of Inori crystals, an advanced coil, which we need more Restonia for. So let's see, we're going to need 4 Restonia for that. I'm going to set all this stuff aside because we can just turn it all at once. So we need that. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iron. This is another 5 iron. That's another 4, 5. So that's going to be 10 iron for that. And we need 4 Restonia for the first one. We need 4 Restonia for the second one. We're going to need 2 black quartz, but I don't think that there is anything else that needs to be turned for this, other than we need an extra Restonia there. So I think this is all that we need right here to do this. So this is the only part that needs to actually get converted. The 10 iron and 9 redstone. And hit that. So there we go. Hopefully that's correct. So we're not actually wasting power, but we'll get all of this out of there. Go back in here to craft it. Get the single battery, so we need 2 of these. 1, 2. We need more gold nuggets for that. There we go. We got both of those. And then the first one is going to be like this. And then the next one is going to be the same way, except with that in the place of the Restonia. So we got the double battery ready, and I don't know if it needs to be charged. I don't think it would need to be charged. Okay, no, so we got the Empower. So we actually have all that we need to start making them right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this and get it back. And we're going to break this, and we're going to do a new setup. So this setup is going to be kind of messy, I guess, because I don't have anywhere that's like great to set this up. So what we're going to do is grab out, I think we're going to need all the conduits we have, like both types, and we're going to do a very messy setup for this. I could honestly do it outside, but I'd rather do it in here. So we're going to have the Empowerer in the center, and we're going to put this down like so, with the conduit below it. I thought conduits could hook up to these. At least I thought they could. You know what, actually what we can do is this. This will simplify it a little bit. We can put the capacitor bank down below it, and this is going to need to charge. Does it have output on the top? Yeah, it should be outputting on the top. I don't know if the Empowerer needs power, but I know the display stands do. But we'll throw these down over here. Okay, so these get the charge. I thought the center one might get the charge, but it's going to hook up to that, so we don't want that connecting at all. So it's disabled. So we'll throw that there. It is a little bit messy, like I said. It's kind of a cramped space to put this setup in, but I think by next episode I will have made a basement area for this, and we should be all good with that. Oh, you know what? I forgot that we need to create some prismarine shards. So let's break this real quick. Okay, popped in there. So we actually need to use a little bit more with this quartz right here to make some prismarine shards. So let me throw this down. We can throw it down right here. And we can throw down the atomic reconstructor right here again. So it's still on pulse. Good, 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 good. Throw that on there. And let's throw down... Honestly, I'll just throw down all these crystals. I don't mind tossing them all down there. I think we'll honestly need more than that. But there we go. Oh, so it only turned... What? So it only can convert 9 at a time? Interesting. Interesting. Let's convert another 9. That should be enough for now. We don't need to go that crazy. And are these filled? Yes, they are. Okay. And I'll throw this back down in the center. I don't know how many times we're going to be able to use this with the power that we have right now, but it should be enough. I think, yeah. Okay, so the last step that we need is to get back out our storage tablet and grab out our cyan petals and our pestle mortar. And we don't even need a crafting table for this, but we can do that in here. And we can turn it into the powder. And, oh my gosh, I forgot. We need to use this one last time for Lapis. There's so much to convert. But luckily, I don't think we need to throw the other... We don't need to throw the power back down. Where did my button go, though? Did I pick that button up? Did it fall down here? Yes, it did. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I forgot I can't even fly in this right now. Okay, so we're going to throw this down. Again, it should still have enough power, and we are going to convert some Lapis. So get that there. Put that there. Okay, converted all of that. So that's odd. It looks like it converted all that perfectly fine. Now, I actually could have converted full blocks for this. It didn't just occur to me to do that. But we can do 3 blocks. We'll charge those up. We've got all the stuff for it. So we're going to put down the block in the center. Now, one thing of advice that I have is you can charge the block and the crystals alone. And I would suggest you charge the block because it takes the same things to charge the block as it does to charge the single crystal. So it's really more worth it to charge the block in terms of using all of this stuff. But it's got some cool particle effects. It's going to take a little bit of time. And it's going to take some of the RF to actually do this. It actually takes a fair bit of time. But I'm trying to see. Okay, these aren't running out of power. Good, good, good. It looks like each one is taking 100 RF, which actually isn't bad. So filling it up took a lot, but it doesn't actually take that much to constantly run. But what we can do is, I don't even know if I'm going to craft more than one of these on camera because it does take a while, but we can grab out all the stuff to actually craft the glass, and boom, there it is done. So we do need an empty hand to grab it out of there. There we go. So we have the empowered palace crystal block. So we go there, we throw down the 4 saplings, any kind we want, the glass, and boom, we have greenhouse glass. So that was a fair bit of work for 3 greenhouse glass, but all in all, it's pretty darn useful, and once we get enough to cover our entire farm, which will probably be, oh gosh, like 45, I want to say. I think it's 48, but once we get enough of that, and I'll get that off camera, then we will just be able to sit back and watch as the ender pearls flow on in. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you found it entertaining or informative in any way, please feel free to give it a like, as it does help me out a lot, and I will talk to you guys later.